Hey Lantana, it's Cassandra Homer with Remax Elite, and I'm here for the newest episode of LantanaLifeTV. We're doing something a little different today. I'm here with Johnnie Yellock, and we want to say Happy Veterans Day and thank you for your service.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the support.
So I want to just dive right in. Tell me a little bit about you.
Well, as you said, my name is Johnnie Yellock. I was a staff sergeant in the United States Air Force. Both my parents served. My mom did 20 years in the Air Force, my dad did 27. I was born overseas in the Netherlands. My sister was born in Germany. We lived in Iceland for a little while, so it was the military that brought my family to Fort Worth. My parents first got out of the military, and I graduated high school at Keller, went to Tarleton State in Stephenville, and then made the decision to join the Air Force in 2007.
And so you enlisted, how old were you?
I was about 23, I think.
It seems like a long time ago.
It was long ago.
And how long were you in the forces for?
I was in the Air Force for about 6.5 years.
Okay. Now, I see this sort of wall of fame. Can you tell me a little bit about what happened?
So this is my man cave. It's where I do all my work. Mm-hmm. Pretty emotional 4 walls in here because it represents where I've come from. Mm-hmm. But the military has always been so important to me, obviously. The job that I chose to do in the Air Force is called combat control, and that's Air Force Special Operations. So most people, when they think of the Air Force, they don't think of a guy outfitted in all of the gear that you see behind you there. But when I enlisted, there were about 500 combat controllers worldwide, and we have an attrition rate similar to Navy SEALs. So the team of 36 guys that I started with day one, only 4 of us graduated at the end of the 2-year pipeline of schools. So not many people know about combat control, but we have an incredible role on the battlefield that no one else can do. And that is, we are air traffic control qualified, but we employ that with munitions from aircraft. So we talk to airplanes. You see all the antennas on my kit there. We talk to airplanes and the team. We go outside the wire in Afghanistan or wherever we're working, and it's our job to be the air-to-ground liaison for the Special Operations troops. So if we take fire that we can't suppress with our weapons, it's my job to relay the ground steam maneuvers to the aircraft overhead to drop bombs or get us out of
so it was a low-pressure gig, is what
indeed,
you're talking
yeah, pretty laid back, no stress job. But this room represents how it all came to a grinding halt. So after 4 years of operating, 2 years of training, 2 years of operating as a combat controller, I was on my 2nd deployment in Afghanistan, and our vehicle was struck by an improvised explosive device which severely damaged both of my legs and took me out of the fight. So I went from being the tip of the spear in today's armed forces to being at the hands of all the people that surrounded me in my life. So it was definitely a trip of humility and really an incredible impact on my life as I learned how to trust and put my faith in other people around me to get me to where I needed to be and to get me to where I am today. So though my mechanism of injury was pretty severe and being blown up in Afghanistan, I realized that going through that process is something that could happen to anybody. So what I invest my time in today is sharing my story and my message and really trying to get people to invest in their communities, the people that you choose to surround yourself, because those are the people that are going to support you whenever you fall.
Yes, that's so important, and especially in Lantana, such a tight community. Now tell me a little bit about this home and how you came to Lantana.
Awesome. So I stumbled upon Lantana. I was going to build...
Most of us do, don't worry.
This whole life that we all live is just one stumble after
one big stumble.
Right? So I got to Lantana, just happened to be out driving these roads and saw what a gorgeous community it was, and I made the decision to build here. At the time I was working for a nonprofit called Helping a Hero, and they build specially adapted homes for wounded warriors. And they gave me a grant to assist with the cost of this home. So with that came a lot of publicity. And from that publicity, I got thrust into all the incredible people and businesses here in Lantana. And they just showered me with grace. And there's so many things about this home that that they donated or definitely discounted and made it the gorgeous home that you see today.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
It really is beautiful. Now, I think this is a question that everyone has, and people are always nervous to approach a veteran. How can the everyday person help? How can they show their support? How can they donate? What can we do to show how grateful we are?
Well, I think you're doing it today, right? I mean, you have gone out of your way to come to my home to try to elevate my story and what we're doing here, what I do with my life. But everyday people can help everyday veterans just by saying thank you for your service. It's as simple as that. And the response should be thank you for your support. And it means the world. You know, I recognize the fact that it hasn't always been like that. My father was a Vietnam era veteran, and when he came home he was not treated like this. He didn't get a cameraman and a woman to interview him in his home to say thank you for your service.
We can go grab him.
We most certainly could. Most certainly could. There's a lot of veterans in Lantana, I've found, and I look forward to connecting with them. But I'm just incredibly blessed to be not only in this home but this community, because so many people have been incredibly supportive.
Now, I know you do a lot of speaking, so what's next for you? Who do you speak to? How can we help?
So I am right on the cusp of having my own website, and it'll be aptly called JohnnieYellock.com, to promote my own speaking engagements, and that is anybody that calls me. I've never turned down a speaking opportunity, but what I'm doing now, hey Argos, what I'm working on now is creating my own nonprofit to promote and encourage other veterans to do what I'm doing and sharing their story, because it's incredibly impactful for those that hear what we've been through and how we've made it out of it. It's incredibly impactful for the businesses or the communities or churches or schools that hear that message. So I've enjoyed it. It's been therapy for me to get out of my comfort zone and share my story, something that's difficult to talk about, because I see the effect, the positivity that I get from the crowd. So I believe that it will encourage other veterans to do the same.
Johnny, thank you so much for having us in your beautiful home.
Thank you.
And thank you again for your service and for
Thank you for your support. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Great. And how long have you been? When was the last time you had this on?
The last time that I had it on was when it was taken off my body when I was wounded.
Okay. How long ago was that?
That was just over 5 years ago, 2011.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How does your family feel about everything that went down? Besides proud, obviously.
My parents are very proud. Yeah. I keep trying to get them to talk about something other than me. This job was very different than what my parents had experienced. So they knew it was dangerous, but when I was wounded and they found out pretty quickly that I was coming home, I think that's all that matters.
Yeah.